That's what made this show really good because you really didn't know who you could trust.
No, you didn't.
Everybody
was on top of the block.
Anybody could get it.
Yes,
like, you know what I'm saying? And you just never knew. You never knew who you always had to side eye. You always had to look and be like, hey.
I don't know about you.
I don't know. I don't know about this one.
Right.
Burn.
Enterprises.
Thank you for coming to our channel. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me. Back with a new series review. I'm JB.
I'm Ken.
And today we're going to be reviewing...
Wednesday.
Are you Wednesday now?
I did turn into Wednesday.
There's a lot of places we can start, but let's go ahead and start with the star, Jenna Ortega. So what do you think about her overall performance as Wednesday Addams?
I think she embodied Wednesday Addams. I think that she ate it up, basically. She came on there, did what she had to do. She was creepy. She was spooky. She was mysterious and kooky. So... all together looking. You know what I'm saying? She's all of the above.
I see what you did there.
Did you?
Yes, I did. But yeah, I think she did a excellent job of portraying Wednesday Addams and almost brought some refreshingly new to it. Like I said, I guess in this little introduction you was trying to do, like another thing that made Wednesday is, you know, her retorts, her quick snapbacks, you know what I'm saying, the one-liners that she had throughout the entire series. Like no one throughout this throughout the story or throughout the season was gonna be able to one up her. Like, you know what I'm saying? So somebody had something to say, she always had a quick comeback, you know, a way to put people in their place. And even when it seemed like, you know, she might be losing an argument or losing a situation, she had a way of saying things to make it seem like overall that she win or she's gonna get the better of the situation.
Absolutely.
So kudos to Jenna Ortega and that. Like, I definitely love everything about her character. I guess let's get into. She had a lot of different relationships going on, so I think we're go focus on, I guess, a relationship with the kids in the show, and then we'll probably go to the adults. So I guess we'll go to her roommate, which was Enid.
I love Enid. She's so cute and quirky and colorful. She's just so bright, and I think that they just showed the total opposite of what Wednesday was when they paired them two together.
Yeah, it was pretty much the exact opposite of Wednesday, and the way, and even with her being the exact opposite, somehow or another it works. That's the interesting thing with that, and with her character, like how her overall looks on life, and you know how she's, you know, bubbly, and you know, and even at the end, or I guess if we get towards the end of the season, how she was able to even have, you know, like such an impact on Wednesday to actually have her kind of open up and being open to the idea of not being so much as a loner, you know. Like, I think her being open to the different relationships that she was open to is mainly because of Enid. Like, she regardless of how, you know, stonewall that Wednesday's character continued to be, Enid would for the most part would almost always be there. You know, she always would help her. And another thing is, and which can be a hard thing to do in friendships, you know, she actually called her out on her BS. Even when, you know, most times people, I think in today's time, a lot of times in that situation, people would have just dipset, or they would have tried to kept it in, but she actually called it out to her face and was like, yo, you know, you're being super selfish, you know, the only thing you're really caring about is yourself, and I ain't having it. And I guess that for her character to do that, and I don't think that's even, you know, really within her character to do that, that's what even made it have a bigger impact.
I agree. She reminded me a lot of Alice on Twilight. Like, you know, even though she's like a vampire, so she's always like bright, bubbly, optimistic, you know, cheerful, and she accepts anybody for who they are. And I think that was Enid's persona.
Okay, that's a really good example. That's a really good. Check out the big brain on Brad. That was a really good example. Okay, let's go to her. At the time, it seemed like, I don't even want to say nemesis. Nemesis wasn't even the right word, but definitely her competition. and that's Bianca. What did you think about Bianca?
So you could tell that Bianca had a chip on her shoulder the whole time, and she was a perfectionist. So her and Wednesday were more alike than they were different, and I think that's what caused them to butt heads. Is because they were like, okay, they both want to be great at whatever they're doing, and they both don't like to get along with their parents. Apparently, we saw that.
Well, I don't think their parents. It's more or less their mothers.
Well, mothers, you're right. Because we didn't get to see her dad.
It's more or less that maternal aspect, and that definitely played a part in there with both of those characters, with Wednesday and her mom, and Bianca and her mom, and I really like how they showed that or whatever, because and during that time, a lot of times that can happen during that time as
adolescent teen. Yep.
Yeah, as they're growing, sometimes you would think people, that they're becoming closer, but based on my experiences and what I've seen, a lot of times that could be when the mother-daughter relationship can be really contentious, and it definitely was contentious between Bianca and her mom and Wednesday and her mom. But continuing what you were saying about Bianca.
And I feel like she brought the bad A aspect to the show as well. She was like somebody a force to be reckoned with and nobody to be messed with. And I love that part about her too, because she's like, you're not the only bad person or bad persona person in this school. Like you have competition within that as well.
Yeah, I think another thing, I guess, she was. That's another thing I think with all the characters, really, they were able to, and I'm not every single character, but I feel like definitely with Wednesday and definitely with Bianca and also with Enid, they had these really different personalities, but they were confident within those different personalities. They were, even though they could be viewed different ways, they still had that confidence and they had that air, about them. Like I really liked it, because sometimes you can have shows and they will have these different personalities, what have you, but the characters aren't necessarily as confident within those, how they are. You know what I'm saying? But within these, and this is three different ladies within here, and they're all vastly different. But they still are confident in there, and especially Bianca, like she is, and I think that's why they butt heads. Usually, she's probably in class. Usually, she's probably the first person to answer questions. Usually, she's the go-to when it comes to things, and so when and she probably used to getting the attention as well. And so I think a lot of times when the new person comes in, especially in school settings or what have you, everybody wants to play with the new toy. So, that kind of led them even more, to button heads. So
one thing I noticed that the director / producer or writer of the show did is, we didn't get to see Bianca nor Enid's powers or true.
Actually, you know what? Sorry,
I think it was.
I just thought of something. Sorry.
I think it was because, of course, it's Wednesday's show. But I would have loved to see Bianca use her siren out more.
More, yeah.
Yes,
And I think that's something that I don't know if they've officially announced the season 2 yet, but I'm pretty sure, because this is one of the biggest shows that Netflix has had in a minute. So I'm pretty sure that's on the horizon. And so I would hope that, that's something that they've explored, in season 2. And so what did you think about Bianca and, let's see, who was her
love
interest at the time? I believe it was Xavier.
Xavier.
Yeah, it was Xavier. And then the kind of a love triangle, what have you, whatever, because I feel like Xavier was.
Because they dated, Bianca and Xavier dated prior to. And then they decided to break up because he didn't trust her. Mm-hmm. And so then...
So what do you think about that? The whole idea that him not trusting her.
Because she's a siren. So he was like, you got to be putting your powers on me. That's the only reason why I feel the way I feel about you. It's not an authentic crush or authentic...
well, I thought she did use him one time on him or something like that.
I don't know. He asked her to use him.
I mean, I definitely remember that part, which was
I don't think they really said if she could have used them to get them.
I thought I won. Y'all comment down below if y'all remember that, because I'm a little confused. I could have sworn that she used them one time, and from that point on, that kind of messed up the trust factor in their whole entire relationship. And I think that's why the whole when he asked her to, can you use your powers to make me forget about her, it was even more of a double blow, is because it's like that's one of the sore spots within their relationship. And then so now all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you want me to use your partner, use my powers, and then not only that, you want me to use them to make you forget about another girl? Come out of here.
Right. And I think that's why he was drawn to Wednesdays, because he knew she would be brutally honest with him, no matter what.
This girl is always yawning, sneezing, or doing something in our videos, I swear. She's always what now?
He knew that she was going to be brutally honest with him, and that she was not sugarcoating anything. There was nothing to not trust with Wednesday, because she's a straight shooter. She's going to be the hit, black or white. There's no shades of gray or anything. Like, what you get is what you see, and that's it.
Well, I think Xavier's more so a kind of a darker person, too.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
I agree.
Being in the, not closet, but being kind of like in the
shadows,
in the shack. And I'm saying he would be like in the way in the back in the shack and painting and doing all that all by himself or whatever. So that loner mentality or what have you. So I think
because they both were loners.
Yeah, kind of. So I think they kind of they kind of fit each other. And
the ironic thing is that she didn't trust him, just like he didn't trust Bianca.
Yeah.
And so I think they would have been
and
together.
they did a good job. They did a good job of, because I didn't trust him either. I was like, I don't know about this Xavier guy.
Yeah.
And speaking of people not to trust, another person not to trust on the hill was Lucas, which he started off as a really, really bad guy, and he hung out with the crew that was constantly messing with all the people that went to the school. But I love to see, the journey that he went on, because he started off as a bad guy, and eventually he wasn't that guy. So what do you think about the changes that he went through in the season and just his overall character?
Well, it just says a lot about racism. I know we talk about that a lot in our videos, but the fact that you fear the unknown, and so the fact that he was able to go to the party and actually hang out with these people that were outcasts, that were basically mutants or whatever you want to call them, he was able to see that, they're not what everybody thinks they are. They're not these scary, spooky people that just be going around eating people and biting people's heads off. They're really a cool group of people. I feared the unknown, so I was prejudiced against them.
Yeah, so, and I like how, again, a person that was able to do that was kind of to help him come out of that was Enid, right?
You know what I'm saying? That light, that aura,
right? You know what I'm saying? Hanging around Enid, he was able to actually see, like, okay, you know what? These people are different, all right? Or she's actually different. And sometimes how having, which is a part of racism, sort of like having these preconceived notions about people or a group of people, and and then getting to know them and be like, you're
not that bad after all.
You're actually not that bad. And so yeah, I like his transformation, and like I said, the journey that he went on, and it seems like maybe him and Bianca might maybe they might have something going on. You know what I'm saying? Towards the end, seemed like they got a little closer. So I don't know. You never know. I guess the one last guy, I was gonna almost forget or whatever, but I get to him real quick. Is Eugene? Yeah. I thought he was a cute character.
Cute.
You know what I'm saying?
He reminded her of Pugsley, I think. He was like, you're like my little brother. I can kind of boss you around and make you do what I want you to do. Yeah. Yeah.
But he was definitely faithful though. Like,
yes, he was.
He always had, her best interest in hand, and it was always that steady friend that she needed. Like I said, similar to Enid, but kind of a more, like you said, little brother way or whatever.
I think he grew her heart first. Like when he got hurt, like you could tell that she felt so bad that he went out there and did, against her will, and she was so worried about him, and she, I think that her going up to the hospital to see him and showing up like that, I feel like he's the one that caused her to have, like the Grinch, her heart grew 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, three times as big.
Okay.
When she started hanging out with him.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, and then I guess we'll finally go to the bad guy or the big baddie at the end. Well,
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
He was kind of the small baddie, not necessarily the big baddie, but one of the baddies, which was Tyler.
Yeah, the wolf's in sheep's clothing.
So,
he played a good guy so good.
Yes, he did. And he did. What do you think about that?
He was the mass singer in real life. So he was
not that. Go ahead.
But yeah, oh man, I thought she had found her a regular guy, not somebody that's in the dark worlds and stuff. I said, oh, he's so cute and he's accepting of her and all of this. But I should have known because they kept on referencing his mom, and him. The dad never wanted to talk about the mom. Mm-hmm. So what is up with your mom? Like, I should have thought, what's going on with that? So
yeah, that is true. Like, we just never.
Why she's such a secret.
Never knew, what that meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the dad avoided it at all costs. So
yes, he did, and they necessarily didn't have the best relationship either. So a lot of parent relationships were throughout this. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's realism though. As as kids can grow, you know what I'm saying, that relationship dynamic can twist and turn and kind of be strained at times, so to see that, and I guess that might be another thing that kind of might have threw you off, because you kind of felt for him because you wanted their relationship to get better, because it seemed like he wanted the relationship with him and his dad to be better, and so you kind of were rooting for Tyler, you know what I'm saying, because he seemed like to be on the up and up.
Yeah, he did.
And even when certain clues would line up into paint, at one point all the things pointed towards Xavier, and it seemed like Xavier was going to be the bad guy, or these different people. And I don't know. I know me personally, I just never thought Tyler. Y'all can comment down below if you what did you think?
I knew Tyler all along.
Did you know it was going to be Tyler? Or did you not have a clue at all, or what have you?
And what are they gonna do with him? Because poor Tyler's still alive.
That is true. That's another part of season 2. I think that would really be interesting, because it looks like, from the way it ended,
Tyler woke up.
Yeah, he woke up and probably broke
out of those chains. Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see where exactly he's gonna go. What is he gonna do? Is he just gonna be out just running around wilding out, or what have you? So
yeah.
All right, so we'll go quickly to her family real quick. We'll stay with the kids real quick, and rethink about the relationship with her brother.
He didn't get enough screen time. I really didn't even know who Pugsley was.
Right?
He was barely there.
Yeah,
I think he's like a throwaway character a little bit.
You and these throwaway characters. I don't think he's a throw. He's a part of the family. So
but they didn't really give him anything. So
I guess that's what you mean by throwaway character. When I hear throwaway character, it's like there was no point in having them on there and whatever, because you want to throw it, literally throw them away.
Right. I wish he could have been there, but they didn't give him what he needed. I guess it wasn't his show, so
right, it's not. So
we're just gonna say, he got a brother, right?
But
okay.
What I will say with each member of her family, like throughout the season, I think they did take time to actually show that that family part or whatever, and so they would show Wednesday with Pugsley and have them talking about their family. They did that with Gomez, but Gomez, what it seemed like that whole episode when they were thinking that Gomez was
the killer,
and like he was guilty or whatever. So that bond, showing that bond that they had, and really, with Morticia and the relationship there, because like I said, it was really contentious or whatever, and it finally got to the point where Wednesday was kind of forced to, didn't have any point, but didn't have any choice rather to go ahead and ask her, like, okay, I'm having these visions, and what does it mean? Because I
don't know what to do with it.
Okay, and I think and I didn't have an issue with all the characters that they played. I know, and I think we discussed it briefly when we did a trailer reaction to this. There were a lot of people that were mad at Luis Guzman's overall, seeing him casted as Gomez, and to me, I didn't have a problem with it. To me, it kind of harkened back to to the early Addams family, and especially once you see overall how it played out, I think he did a good job.
Yeah, I didn't like him. But I grew up with the 90s Addams Family, I guess. And the fact that they were so lovey-dovey and cutesy-wootsy. I mean, you want to say, of course, attractive couple is being all lovey-dovey and cutesy-wootsy versus, like, an unattractive couple. So it's like, I was really feeling Morticia and Gomez
I don't even know what word you are right now.
In the 90s movies because they both were just so beautiful and dark. So they reminded me of vampires more so than like whatever.
Okay. Superficial. That's the word I'm looking for. You and the rest of America are definitely superficial.
And we still talking about the family, right?
I mean, we can.
I want to say I love that they brought in Uncle Fester too. He was the bomb. Like I loved Uncle Fester back then. So I think that his cast was great, and the person that played Uncle Fester did a great job as well.
Yeah, I think he did. And he came in right on time because
she
really needed somebody in her corner, and he kind of came in right on time, and he was the part of a lot of the funny parts, a lot of the comedy, and so that's why I like my Uncle Fester. And in addition to Uncle Fester, Thing.
Yes.
Thing was another character that's one of the.
Thing was so scared of him.
He was like an MVP.
Yes,
really,
he was.
Throughout, like anytime she needed something, like really, if it wasn't for Thing, like she would have been
messed out.
Right, but the fact that she had Thing and he was able to help her out when she needed help, in all these different situations, and so much so that all the kids at school, what I'm saying, was like they knew Thing and would help. And it'd be so funny that the fact, it's funny when you have things like that, like similar to we recently watched we went on a Star Wars binge, and so it reminds me of that, like how you have these different, like you have a Wookiee and he'll say some stuff and everybody they're communicating back and forth, but the same thing with the Thing, like everybody just understands what he's saying. Like, I think that's real cute and funny.
And how they always use American Sign Language with Things.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying sometimes when he
just be like
when he's tapping on something
and
or
doing something like, what is it? What is it, boy? Like he's like the puppy or whatever. But he's so cute.
Like he's Lassie or something.
Yeah. What are you trying to tell us?
All right, so another adults. I guess let's go into professors. Was it professor? Principal. It's Principal Weems.
Yes, I love her. Mm-hmm. She's that principal that's always like, when your parents just say, I got eyes in the back of my head. Principal Weems actually has eyes in the back of her head.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I like how the banter between Morticia and her, and how they went back to their high school days when they were at the school, and what they dealt with back then. I love how they brought that into it to say, oh, well, I'm not going to put that against you. This is your mom, but I got my own you. So I like how she did her like that.
Yeah, one thing I liked about her was her fashion. She it was like I'm not even sure I don't have the vocabulary to describe it, but it was definitely dope. And how she was able to still, how she was able to still be this an older, figure, so to speak, but still be,
stylish and
like every time she showed up, like it was all, everything was always cute and put together, what I'm saying? And so I liked it about her character. And she was, again, it was another character that you couldn't tell, what was going on with her. Like, did she have something nefarious going on or whatever? Was she holding stuff against her based on what happened with, Morticia or not? And so it was nice to see that at the end that she really did have her back. And I'm hoping somehow or another they can bring her back, because I feel like she's a really, really good character.
I hope that poison didn't take her out.
Right, or something like she just, I don't know, like.
I agree.
Maybe they had to help her out. They had to do something, or do some magic, or do something to bring her back, or do something.
Yeah, because who's gonna run the school? Nobody can run the school like Principal.
Right, yeah, that'll be a big absence. Like, I mean, I guess they could probably bring in a new character to do so, but I think the chemistry that that she has, with not only with Wednesday, but a lot of the other characters on the show, I think will be sorely missed. So hopefully they can figure that out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to I guess we can go to the doctor. The doctor she kept seeing.
Yeah, Dr. Valerie.
Okay, what you think about her? She's again another part. Well, go ahead.
She seemed shady from the
right.
beginning.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, that's what made this show really good because you really didn't know who you could trust.
No, you didn't.
Everybody
was on top of the block.
Anybody could get it.
Yes,
like you know what I'm saying. And you just never knew. You never knew who you always had to side eye. You always had to look and be like, hey.
I don't know about you.
I don't know. I don't know about this one.
Right.
I don't know about you. You know what? I don't know about you either, and I definitely don't know about you.
You really should. Yeah.
Right, and so that was definitely the case with Dr. Valerie, But I think overall it seemed like Dr. Valerie was on the up and up.
Yeah.
And I think she also helped Wednesday. You know what I'm saying?
Open up a little bit.
So open up as well. Even though, as I'm saying, a lot of these growing pains that Wednesday went through, or whatever she didn't want to go through, or whatever. But it was overall, better for her in the long run.
That's true.
Chef Donovan.
Yes, Chef Donovan.
What did you think about
That's Tyler's dad.
Yes, it is Tyler's dad. And as we alluded to earlier, him and Tyler didn't have the best relationship.
No.
That's the best simple question. Did you? I think he knew, right? He knew that he was.
Yes, I know he knew who the mom was, so I think he was in denial about his son. Okay. I believe that's what it was. Okay. But I like how he was really trying to get to the root of everything, like.
It's his town, man.
Yeah, it's not a bear. Like they were trying to put it on all this other stuff. The black mayor guy was trying to put it on all this other stuff.
The black mayor guy, Mayor Walker.
Mayor Walker was trying to put it on.
Which I also like Mayor Walker too.
Yeah, but he was shady too.
I don't think he was shady.
He was feeding the monster or something. He kept going in their old house doing. So what are you going in there for?
No, but remember, she ended up getting killed. Remember, but he ended up But I think. Part of it is he was like a typical, I don't want to say typical, but typical like politician. Whatever was good for the city, he's for it. You know what I'm saying? If it's putting money in the city or if it's helping out the city overall, then I'm with it. But even Mayor Walker was on his way to meet the sheriff or whatever, and then that's one of the parts. That's another thing about this. The spookiness or the scariness that it had. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I like scary movies, like scary series or whatever. And it was scary enough, I think, where if you have maybe younger kids or that maybe 11, 12, maybe what I'm saying, they probably could still watch it or whatever, and it'd be okay. But as I was saying, when Mayor was trying to meet with the sheriff and they got ran over, that was crazy. And that to me was showing that he wasn't.
Yeah, he must have been a threat.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Monster was trying
you know what I'm saying? That's why they took him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do. One of the other things as with a lot of the adults is when Wednesday would talk to sheriff, she always showed that she was she was able to handle herself,
Yeah.
And the banter between them two, it was often trying to one up each other, and then almost this reluctant alliance where I guess we're gonna work work together or whatever. And so I do like that whole aspect between their relationship as well.
I also like the fact that even though he didn't necessarily agree with the school and what they had going on and the students there, he still allowed his son Tyler to kind of do whatever. He told him not to talk to Wednesday, but it really wasn't no consequences or repercussions. He was like, oh, okay, y'all having this little movie night thing, whatever. I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just gonna go on about my business.
And you know what? He also kind of to a degree reminded me of Bella's mom in Twilight.
Yeah.
He just kind of gave me those same kind of vibes or whatever, where he's focused on trying to help this small town and try.
The mom or the dad?
The dad.
You said Bella's mom, but you meant Bella's dad.
Did I say mom?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
I was like, her mom.
Bella's. Yeah, my bad. I'm talking about Bella's. My bad.
She's in the clouds.
Yeah, she
in Florida. I live in the best life.
Reminded me of Bella's dad. You know what I'm saying? They're both police officers and they're both trying to solve things in this small town, and both can be a tad bit off and ignorant of a couple of things.
And they
or whatever.
know that they children doing some stuff, but they like, oh, okay, whatever is going on.
And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, they mean well.
Absolutely. I agree. You know, it was a lot of parallels. Because I think even when the monster first got introduced and the sheriff and the mayor was talking about it, they tried to say like it was a bear.
Yeah, similar to Twilight.
With the vampires that was running rampant. So okay. Yeah, they might have got a little inspiration.
Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think finally we can get into I guess is which is the big baddie below the big baddie, I guess, you know what I'm saying? And that's the Marilyn Thornhill, which was, of course, was Christina Ricci. Yes. So, what did you think about her overall character?
Man, I didn't think she was bad. Now, that's one that had me totally thrown for a loop. I thought she was just... But the one thing about it is that she was the only regular that worked at the school.
Yeah, that should have been a red flag.
That would have been a red flag. But she was just so kind. But she always popped up, too. She was like, oh, Wednesday, where you been? Principal Weems came up, told me to come check on you, and blah, blah, blah. So she was always around, but not always around. And that made her the perfect candidate to be the bad guy.
Yeah, and kudos to Christina Ricci. First, when we seen the again when we did the trailer reaction, that's one of the parts that I was really hyped about.
Yeah,
and I love when I love when series, movies, this Hollywood period, when they're able to branch. You know what I'm saying? The old with the new. You know what I'm saying? The older generation with the new generation, and that was and that was definitely one of the ways that they could do that, because we've seen Christina Ricci for a lot of us that grew up in the 90s, and we really liked her portrayal of Wednesday Addams, in the Addams family. And so there was almost like a full circle moment, like, oh man, they're gonna have her in this. This is gonna be super dope. And her, and again, they probably do it like that purposely, where it has that mystery type, mystery / whodunit type feel. Where, at a certain point, I think with all the adults in this series, your side eye, I'm like,
yeah,
do you got something to do with this?
Right.
Can I not trust you? I don't know. I think everybody, and that was definitely the thing with her and Christina Ricci, I think, play that part perfect, and because that's another thing, because he was a normie, so to speak.
Yeah.
you kind of felt that, oh well, yeah, she probably, even if she's doing
an ally,
or even if she is doing anything, it probably ain't that, not gonna be that bad or whatever.
Yeah.
But she was definitely the biggest baddie, because she definitely
was the
was
brains
a part of,
behind the
right,
operation
and putting everything together. You
yes.
know what I'm saying, to get her. Was it her dad or great granddad? It was like her
dad,
dad, right? Yeah, it was her
she's
dad.
trying to avenge her dad.
Yeah, and bringing him back, so he can so he can mess everybody up.
Right. Well, no, that wasn't her dad. The guy that got killed by not Gomez, but that guy was her dad.
Yeah,
and
right.
That other man was the old man from back in the day.
So it was but it's her ancestor, basically. Yeah. It was her ancestor, right? Yeah, right.
And how cool is that for for Jenny Ortega to be able to learn how to be Wednesday from Wednesday? Like, how many times can you, when they remake things and bring things back, you can say, well, I learned from the greatest. Like, she would embody Wednesday back then, so she's able to coach me.
Right. And she's pretty much why Wednesday became, what we know Wednesday to be right now. Like, if it wasn't for Christina Ricci's performance of Wednesday, I think, that whole Addams Family movie, you know what I'm saying? They both of those were really good, and everybody, Ralph Julia, that's his name. If I'm not mistaken, the one that played Gomez, and I think unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
But even his performance, a lot of their performances in the Addams Family is what made it iconic.
Yes.
And definitely Christina Ricci was a part of that. Especially with Wednesday. And so, like you said, that was really dope and fantastic that they was able to bring her back in here, and insert her, and be such an integral part, of the plot.
Yes, I agree.
Overall. All right, so I think that about covers it all.
Yeah, I think so.
Like I said, I think this was a overall wonderful series. There was definitely those ones where, and it came out at the perfect time too. Kudos to Netflix, because they dropped this during Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving holiday. So it was definitely one of those, you can
watch with your
family, and one of those, and it was definitely when you wanted to watch. We stayed at about I think we fell asleep on one of them. We stayed at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning watching the episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely wanted to continue to watch each episode after each episode. You didn't want to stop. So again, they need to go ahead and make the announcement that they're gonna have the second season, and definitely gonna be interested. So that's the question, and we'll get into that. We'll let that be the questions. But I want to hear from you. What is some of the biggest things that you would like to see in season 2?
I want to see.
Yeah, y'all comment that down below.
Enid, because she's finally wolfed out. So I
She did finally
really
wolf out.
want to see
She did
how.
finally wolf out.
What is she gonna use that? How is that gonna impact her life? What is she gonna do
How's that gonna
now?
impact her character?
Her character, right?
Is she gonna change? Is she still gonna
Is
be
she
the
gonna
same?
be the same bubbly, or is she gonna go to the dark side like they did on Twilight? Like, you know, there's these little boys, and now they like these.
Right, because it seems like they
dark
always
men.
kind of like roughhousing and doing all this
playing,
extra.
and now they're like, I'm so serious, I gotta go chase vampires.
Right, or
Yeah,
something.
so, what is she gonna chase? Like, what's
Yes.
that gonna go? And are they gonna rebuild the school and have students come back after the summer is over? That's what I want to know too.
I don't know. Was it the summer? I thought this was like the
was.
semester. I felt like that's what they did. I feel like this was the end of the semester. Like I think it was like the fall. I feel like this was the fall
So is this
semester.
over the winter break then?
I feel like if I could be wrong, but I feel like it was over the fall break. Because even if you look at the season, like it wasn't like hot, it wasn't like summertime or anything. Like I feel like this was during.
But we don't know where was the setting though. What city, state? Might be somewhere where it's always cold. I don't know.
If it was in the spring though, they still would have had some sun or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't think they had that. But
Yeah.
I'm just more interested in just the growth of a lot of their characters.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, to see where Wednesday is gonna go, and what's gonna be the new thing that she's gonna tackle, and and just like similar to what you said about Enid and seeing her, I guess her powers and her being a werewolf. I'm really interested to see Bianca and and the situation with her and her mom, because they kind of touched on that.
Like after the school year's over.
Right, because her mom was like, you're gonna have to leave or whatever. So
help me do some stuff.
Right, so I'm wondering how that's gonna go, and just like you said, seeing more of Bianca and her using her powers, and just and all of them, even Xavier, because I'm kind of a little confused at how his powers work.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
me too.
Like he paints
He
stuff and
visions,
he paints stuff and they become real and whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused at how that works. But yeah, just overall seeing the kids and the powers and how they're gonna continue to grow. All right, so if you want to go ahead and do us a favor, hit that thumbs up button. We'll definitely appreciate it, and it helps out the channel. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, bruh, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We definitely appreciate it. And you can see more videos like this one. And if you want to go ahead and do us another favor, you want to go ahead and hit that button that's shaped like a bell. If you want to go ahead and do that, you'll get a notification
Every time we drop a new video.
And if you want to go ahead and do us another favor, you want to go ahead and comment down below. We pretty much just said it.
Yeah.
But what
do you think this season 2 is going to go? What are you most excited about seeing in season 2, if there is a season 2?
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a season 2.
We hope it is,
and what would you want to see in season 2?
Absolutely.
All right, we appreciate every single one of you. And I guess we'll holler at you.
Peace.